Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Today our main topic is concept of administration. This is lecture number 1, and in this lecture we will cover the introduction about the main topic and meaning of educational administration, nature of educational administration, importance of educational administration, and some important purposes of educational administration, and then at the end we will study about scope of educational administration. Now, first of all, introduction. The word administration as the Latin root minister suggests means services, that is, work dedicated to the good of others. The main objective of administration, therefore, is to secure for an individual or society or the nation such environment which may lead to their fullest growth and development. Today, more than 5,000 men and women are entrusted with the responsibility of administering education in the country. We all know that most of the people they are engaged in with the administering responsibilities in educational setups. Majority of them are of professional background, means many of them have their professional backgrounds. They belongs to the professional families, or they are particularly connected with the professionals' work. A few have been nurtured in the school of experience. The total look towards educational administration has undergone rapid changes during the recent years. Now, the meanings of educational administration. Meanings is that administration is a machinery through which any organization or institutions can be managed. Remember that with the help of administration, any organization or institutions can be managed well in manner. It is a mean set up for a smooth and efficient working of educational structure. Remember that where there is a good administration, so there is a smooth working, there is a efficient working, and especially an educational structure. Educational administration, this is the direction, control, and management of all matters pertaining to the school affairs. Direction is the leadership within the community and the school system. We can also say that the control and management are the means for realization of purposes defined in educational planning. Education is in the control of state, as certain controls are at the state level in the form of constitutional provisions, enactments, and also as executive activities. Moreover, we can say in the meanings of educational administration that management designates a broad functions with the responsibilities related to the school, pupils, teachers, and other affairs related to the school. Russell T. Greggs defines that educational administration, this is the process of utilizing appropriate materials in such a way as to promote effectively the development of human qualities. In educational institutions, we know that we have different materials, and that can be used for the human beings or for enhancing the qualities of human beings. So this is actually the utilization of that material in such a particular way that the human qualities may grow. It is concerned not only with the development of children and youth but also with the growth of adults and particularly with the growth of school personnel. Now, in the meanings of educational administration, we can also define that Good's Dictionary of Education that defines that educational administration is what? All those techniques and procedures employed in operating the educational organization in accordance with the established policies. Remember that in every institutions, rather it is educational or other civil or private organization, so all have certain policies to run that organization. So in educational institutions, remember that all techniques and procedures which are being used for operating in that organization with certain policies, this is called administration. So this is also concerned with the dealing and also coordinating the activities of groups of people. Remember that administration doesn't mean that we are to follow certain policies and others, but remember that if there is no coordination between the people, then there would be no administration. You can say that administration will be there, but that administration will not more effective at that place. So it is a dynamic side of education. Remember that what is dynamic? Dynamic means that it is changeable. We can improve it with the passage of time, and we can include the certain policies, we can include certain techniques. So that's why we say that this is a dynamic sides of education. Educational philosophy sets the goals. Educational psychology explains the principles of teaching, and educational administration deals with the educational practices. So, how we can explain it? Remember that educational psychology, when we deal with the mind, so that explains the principles of teaching. That how can we teach, and how the educational administration deals with the educational practices, what's going on in educational institutions. So how we can deal in that organization, or what's going on means how the students are coming, how the lectures are being delivered, and so on. So all these activities, when all these activities are going to be well managed, so this is due to the good administration. It is also called that this is a planning, directing, controlling, executing, and evaluating the educative process. Then we can define about the nature of educational administration. Like a good administration is one which exhibits human activity at its best. The ingredients of good administrations are, what are the good ingredients? The ingredients are: number one, the associated performance, human beings work in close collaboration and there is a sharing of responsibilities. Remember that if there is association between the human beings, like if 2 3 men are working, are in organizations, so if they have coordination, so if they have the same nature of working and they have good collaboration among those personnel, then it means that there would be a good sharing of responsibilities. Organized purpose, well defined purposes are achieved through sharing of responsibilities. And creativity, through dynamic approach, the group proceeds towards its goal. And the fourth ingredient is, that is achievement, means the feeling of achievement makes an administrator to take more efforts to achieve perfection. So administration also involves different kinds of activities to achieve its purpose and to perform the functions related to it. The purpose of educational administration is to enable an organization or the institutions to carry out its functions with maximum efficiency. If any organization is working with full efficiency, means it is giving a full output, then we can say that there is a good administration. So this is one of the purpose. It also enables the right peoples to receive the right education and from right teachers at the cost which should be within the means of state, and which will enable the pupils to profit from their learning. Remember that if the person knows, like if he or she likes teaching, so remember that that person should be employed for teaching purpose. If we are not we do if we do not utilize that persons with his or her right job, so there would be no such good administration. So remember that right people for right job. The basic purpose is to bring students and teachers together under such conditions which will successfully promote the ends of the education. If you are getting the good output at the end of the session or at the end of the product, so it means that that was due to a good administration. If you are not getting good results, if you are not getting the better results at the end, so it means that there is a lack in certain things, and one of thing is administration, that there is some flaw in the administration of the organizations. Then what is the importance of educational administration? The educational administration helps in what? Like the first one is to frame well defined policies and programs so that teaching learning situations results in the growth and development of human beings. Like if it helps to define good policies and good programs so that our teaching and learning situations that may grow and the human capabilities grow, then it means that educational administration is helping. The second, that it helps to make use of appropriate materials to bring about the effective development of human qualities. Remember that if we become ill, so we get some treatment, we get some medicines. So in the same way, if we want to develop the human qualities, then we are to use some good materials, and that material should be appropriate for making or improving the human qualities. Then it also helps to execute the programs and activities of the organization so that its objectives may be achieved. Remember that before starting any program, we set some objectives that we are to follow or we are to achieve these tasks. So if there is a good administration, then we can achieve those objectives well in manner. Otherwise, if we don't achieve objectives, so it means that there is no good administration. The next benefit is that to ensure the growth of children and adults and all the people involved in the management. Remember that administration, this is also useful for the growth of children and also for the adults, the people who are working over there or who are managing all the activities in that organization. Now what are the important purposes? Some other important purposes are there, like the first one is achievement of goals. Whatever your goal is, so if that goal is being achieved well in manner, so it means that this is due to good administration. Then economy, if your economy is growing, then it means there is a good administration. Conservation of resources, it means if you have a little resources, then you ought to use it with a very controllable manner. Then optimum use of resources. If you have some resources, so you are to utilize them with for getting full benefits from that. First of all, we see that achievement of goals. Educational administration is not a goal in itself, rather it is a means to achieve goals. Remember that in education, administration always helps to achieve the goals whatever the organization sets. It must serve the aims of education. If education is a tool for social transformation, it must inculcate and generate a sense of identification and a sense of one's fellow being. So, educational administration, this is concerned with the human and materials also. These two main things are important. Like administration is concerned with the humans who are working there, who are involved in that organizations, and also the resources, whatever they are utilizing, or may be utilized for the human beings. The human elements are what? They are pupils, they are parents, they are teachers, and they are employees in journal at different levels. Like in any organizations, we see that the peoples are working at different levels, like at lower level, middle level, higher level. On the material sides, there are money, buildings, equipment, and instructional supplies. Remember that in any organizations, we always have buildings. We always have chairs, tables, and office tables, books, materials, stationaries, and also the other materials. Like in education institutions, we have blackboard, whiteboard, OHP, you can say aviates, etc. So all these things comes in material sides. Beyond these two elements are ideas, curricula, courses of study, methods, principles, laws and regulations, community needs, and so on. So, the integration of these parts as a whole is a challenge for the administrator. Remember that this is very difficult task for any administrator to integrate all these things for making good administrations, or you can say for managing all the activities whatever the going on in any educational institutions. Rather, these should be effectively used to achieve the goals of education. It means that if you have resources, if you have human beings, and if you have no coordination among these, if you are not utilizing the good material or right material for the right persons, then it means that your administration is weak. The second one is economy. Economy means the administrative setup should check that human material source should be economically used to achieve maximum benefits. If we do not use our material with its, you can say, with a good manner, so there would be a wastage of money, there would be a wastage of material, wastage of resources. So all these things should be avoided if you want to achieve a good economy, and if we want to grow our economy, so we must be careful by utilizing our human beings or the materials being available for the persons. Education in the developing countries is consistently administered poorly, so it involves extraordinarily high monetary cost and lacks in planning and coordination. In developing countries, we know that administration is very poor, and this is what that the reason is that they have high monetary cost. And why it is so? Because there is a lack of planning, there is no coordination. If the planning would be there, if you can say the management would be good, and if we administration makes a good coordination among them, so economy may be grow. For the most efficient mobilization of country resources, it is very important that plans for the development of economy and for development human resources should be coordinated. Remember that if there is no planning for managing our resources, for the next year, and if we don't know that how many costs will be there in the next coming year for the utilization of different resources or for making the coordination, then it means there is a lack of administration, and in that situation economy will be you can say will not grow as compared to the other organizations. The third one is conservation of resources. Conservation means you are to conserve, you are to save the resources. From the standpoint of economic development, three factors they are very important, like natural resources, physical capital, and human resources. Like natural resources, whatever you are available naturally, and what are the physical capitals means if you have buildings, if you have other resources which are physically available. And then human resources means that how many men's, how many women's, or you can say how many you can say the people we have in our organizations. Natural resources are not only determining factors in economic development. Remember that sometimes the natural resources are very helpful, but sometimes it is not having such a great role in development of the economic conditions. Investment, this is directly related to the economic development but varies greatly in its effectiveness. The problem is not only to being about an increase in the share of natural produce, but also to bring about a more desirable allocation of investment. To make full use of capital investment, like if we have a capital investment and if we don't use that in a good way, or a qualified managerial, engineering, and labor force is essential for selection, so operation and maintenance of such investment. So therefore, to bring about development using education, it is desirable to conserve the three types of resources. Then the other is optimum use of resources. Optimum means if we get the maximum benefit from the resources. So these resources should be used in such a way that one should get the maximum benefit out of them for good and efficient administration. So that also depends on efficient administration, that they are getting the maximum benefits from the resources. Then in the scope of educational administration, there is a vast, very vast scope of educational administration, because it includes every thesis regarding the efficient functioning of educational institutions, securing the greatest benefits to the greatest number through an adoption of practical measures. It interprets and clarifies the functions and the activities, educational programs, and fruitful relationships, and also harmonizes their mutual actions. It ensures sound educational planning, good directions, and efficient and systematic execution. Execution means that you are to execute, you are to perform. It means that if there is a good educational planning, if you have a right directions for achieving your goals, and then there is an efficiency, it means every person is working well in manner and they know their job, and everything is going on with the system in a systematic way, whatever the policy says or whatever the defined by the human beings. Fayol considered administration as a way to plan, to organize, to command, to coordinate, and to control education. Planning is an intellectual activity which is performed on the basis of facts and principles. Planning, remember that this is very intellectual activity, and on the basis of ground realities, planning is being done. It plans its activities in such a way that the objectives for which it has come into existence can be achieved. Any organizations, they have some objectives, they have some goals, they also have some aims. So for achieving objectives, if they have good planning of activities, means they are to execute the activities in such a way that they may reach to achieve their objectives. To organize the means of arrangements by which interrelationship along with order for people, material, procedures, knowledge, and the work can be done. So command or to direction involves the execution of plans and decisions and makes the staff do their work. And coordination, that requires harmonizing in a unified manner all the elements involved in the programs. It seeks the cooperation of all who are involved in the administration. Moreover, we can say that by control, we can see that everything is carried out in accordance with the rules. That everything, if we execute, then that executions depends on certain rules which have been laid down in the instructions. In other words, it is evaluation. Fayol ideas was further developed by Gulick and Orvik. So the formula of the functions of administration was referred to the POSTCORB, like POSDCORB. So every word that has some specific meaning. Like P means planning. What is planning? The establishment of the formal structure of authority through which work subdivisions are arranged, defined, and coordinated for defined objectives. What is planning? This is the establishment of formal structure. It means we are to make, like in many organizations, we can see that the people have different committees, they have different groups, they are working on particular jobs. So why? Because that is because of good planning, that the right people they have selected for their right job. The other word, that is organizing. Organizing means that establishment of the formal structure of authority through which work subdivisions are arranged, defined, and coordinated for defined objectives. The next word is staffing. Staffing means we know that personnel functions of bringing in and training the staff and maintaining favorable conditions for work. Staffing means men, work, available resources of human being. If we have personnel, if they have good functions, if they are functioning well and they are fully trained, so this is what staffing. The other word is directing. It is a continuous task of making decisions. Directing means you are to direct the persons to the right place, to the right job. So if they have good directions as defined by the administration, and also deciding on specific and general orders and instructions, and serving as a teacher of enterprise. Then the other word, that is coordinating. We all know that coordinating means that we are to coordinate with one another. It is important aspect of interrelating the various part of works. Like if the person is sitting in administration and the second person is teaching, so if they have good interrelationships, then it means that there is a good coordination for achieving the main objectives of the organization. The other is word is reporting. This is also part of educational administration. So keeping those record of who are answerable to executive, and also to inform him about what is going on, and keeping himself and his subordinate informed through record research and inspection. The other word is budgeting. Budgeting, we all know that this is related to economic. It is a financial planning, accounting, and control. Whatever the cost we need in the whole year or in our day-to-day use. So, if we have a good planning for making our accounting well in manner, and we have a good control for utilizing our finance, so this is called. The other word that is planning. Planning is also involves identification and classification of objectives and scope of operation. So it also investigates to reveal the condition which is affecting the achievement of objectives. The other word is organizing. Organizing means if you have resources and you are to organize the things. If you make the process or procedures for step by step for the people, so it means that you are organizing. So organization means taking those steps by which the people who are involved in administration remain in cooperative manner with each other and are prepared to contribute their best to join activity of their talent and their energies are optimally utilized. The other part is decision making. Decision making means that this is the art of executive decisions to be taken on pertinent questions which are not premature and which can be effective and can be put into actions. Decision, whatever, means at some places there might be some problems. So at that time, if there is a good decisions for directing people toward the right job, so this is very helpful for achieving the objectives of organization. The other is stimulating. Stimulating means that if administrator makes all efforts to provide stimulations to the number of organizations in order to get their cooperations spontaneously to achieve the goals, so he avoids the exercise of authority. It does not give specific directions but helps them to attain the highest level of creativity. Then coordinating. Coordinating, this is it's the bringing up of appropriate relationships between people and the thing which are necessary for organization to achieve the objectives, and involves the allotment of duties and responsibilities, also help the organization of all activities in the material. Now in the next word, that is communicating. It is the process by which direct information, ideas, explanations, and questions are transmitted from persons to persons or from group to group. So there are three channels of communication process. So what are three? Number one is upward communication, is from teachers to principals to district officials and to directorate. This is called upward communication. The second is horizontal communication, that runs along the same level of workers and enables the colleagues to be conversant with activities of the organization. So there is no situation of subordination or superiority at this level. The third level is that is downward communication, means the lower level where the flow of communication, ideas, suggestions, and commands are from senior officers toward juniors, means where just they follow the rules or orders given by the seniors. The next word, that is evaluating. Evaluating means that whatever the activities are performed are put to test in order to find out the extent by which they provided success in the accomplishment of set goals. It is done to find out the weak spots and to make improvement in future by overcoming and deficiencies. Evaluation is done through cooperative studies, surveys, testing programs, opinion polls. Then administrative setup should also see that elasticity and dynamisms are introduced in the working of the system. Educational administration cannot be rigid and static. Remember that it cannot be rigid. Experimentations, trial and error have to be allowed freely in the administration of education. So freedom is the very soul of education. In evaluating, we can say that educational administration should enjoy the freedom to frame aims and ideals and put them into practice. So there should be a change in the attitude of administrators who should cultivate openness of mind and spirit of inquiry rather than a rule of thumb approach which try to stick to established practices even though they are meaningless. The practice of holding periodic reviews at least every 3 to 5 years is an important administrative practice to discard the old and introduce the new practices. Interstatic contact should be built up and comparative analysis of different state practices should be encouraged. So if we don't have a comparisons, if we don't have the new practices, if we don't analyze the existing practices or policies, so it means there is no evaluation. The evolution of the techniques of the detailed programming of the planned projects and by giving training in them should be the responsibility of National Institute of Educational Planners and Administrators. The officer oriented system, where most of the work will be done by the officers at their own level, should be practiced. Okay, this was all about this lecture. Hopefully you have understood, and inshallah we will continue the next topic in the next lecture, inshallah. And still, if you didn't subscribe my channel, so please subscribe. And if you want to study in Urdu, so the link is given below, so you can find out the this lecture in Urdu also. You can say the contents in Urdu are available, so just see the links given in description below. Thanks for watching. Take care. Allah Hafiz.